on, guys? Welcome once again to another Buy the Dips, Sell the Rips video. And this past week was amazing for the people inside Boltz Alpha. Guys, 225x plus, man. It is unheard of. We were printing. And today we're going to show you guys a couple dips that have the potential to actually ripping. So let's dive right into it. First and foremost, I kind of want to highlight one of the coolest ones that we have, which is Doom 95x call, guys. It almost hit 3 million. So that one did crazy. A lot of people printed on that one. We also caught Pengi, which did another 27x. So a lot of really good coins that have been coming out. But I know you guys are like, where are the dips? Let's talk about it. So the first one I want to talk to you guys about is AVICI. This one, I mentioned it earlier inside Boltz Alpha when we were talking about this dip. We were talking because some people had bought out a little bit higher. And I told them, you know what? It would be a good idea to maybe buy that dip, average out, and see if it comes back up to like around 10, 12. And it actually did that, which is amazing. But still love where it's at right now, below 10 mil. Theoretically speaking, this coin under 10, I still gives you a nice potential of maybe 2x to 3x to 4x. Not a bad coin. There is a lot of news that's probably going to drop around Q2 or maybe Q3. So we're going to be kind of playing that as we go. But I think anything under 10 is actually pretty good. 9.7, not a bad entry. Could possibly wait for it to come down to maybe like 8 or 7. But that's ideally where you kind of want to be when it comes to this particular coin. The next coin we want to talk about is Wojak. And as you guys know, big fan of Wojak just because it is the most used meme when it comes to the financial system. Everybody knows it. Everybody that trades stock. And that's why we've been really bullish on this one. Unfortunately, after a month long being in that 7 to 6 mil range, it kind of came down. And surprisingly, it fell a lot. And we didn't expect that to happen. And it is coming down to 4 mil. Theoretically, this is going to be the play when it comes to Wojak, and the reason I'm mentioning it, okay? So, if it comes down to 3 million, that is where you want to add, okay? 3 million is where you want to add, and you're going to add based on a gamble because this could be either the make or break of this coin. It hits 3 mil, it stays there, and it kind of just stays there for a little bit of while, and then it bounces back up. That's what I would love to see, but there's still that possibility it hits that 3 mil and it doesn't bounce and it keeps coming down. It might just be over for the Wojak community. It's unfortunate because it's one of the strongest memes in all crypto, and there hasn't been a really crazy runner on Solana that has ran really well, except for this one. It did pretty good, but it's still one of those coins that are like, you know, I think could still have that potential. So hopefully it keeps going up. Okay, so that's this is Wojak. 3 mil is where you would kind of want to get in here. The next one is that we have is KLED, and I've been mentioning this quite a long time for you guys right now. For a very long, ever since 600K, guys, I've been mentioning this coin, okay? But in general, right now it's sitting at 14 mil, and it did come down to our kind of like target that we had, which was that 12 to 10 range. So that did really good. But what I would look for this coin is I would not be adding here at 14 mil. I'd probably be adding here like around 12 if it does come back down here, 12 or 10, and expect a nice little healthy bounce on this one. But right now 14 seems a little bit steep for me. I would kind of wait around this one, but still pretty bullish on this coin as the community is pretty strong, and also the lead that leads this coin is actually very bullish. So that's what we're hoping, that it actually does really well and it bounces. Okay. The next one we have is Buttcoin, and I've been mentioning this one for quite a long time. We actually mentioned this one right here at this 4 mil range. It went up almost all the way up to 40-50 mil, which it gave us a nice 8 to 10x depending on where you got in. But right now, guys, it is at 11.2. That's not a bad entry, but ideally, you kind of want to get it like around here, which is this 10 mil. 10 mil to 9 is kind of where you want to get it. I don't know if it comes down to 9 again, but I'm hoping it comes down to 10, so that way you could possibly add. And I feel like we're going to be here for a little bit long time, not like a whole month, but I think maybe if it stays here like in that 10 mil range, we could see a massive reversal on this one, and hopefully it does really well. Pretty strong community, pretty strong narrative. So that's what I'm looking for here. 11's not a bad ad, but 10 would be the best option. The next one we want to mention is Punch, and this one we mentioned Punch quite a long time ago, as you hear, since the 6.7 mil, ran up to 50, kind of almost giving us a nice little 10x there. Not quite, but just quite enough, like 8 to 9, depending on where you added. But it's come down to its target multiple times. 6, it ran up back to 10. Now it's coming back down to below the 10, so it's coming down to 8. I would probably see if it touches that 6, but 8 mil is not bad. So I think something like between 8 and 7 to 6 would be an ideal entry for this coin. Still hasn't died off, still very popular and pretty bullish on this coin, but it just needs to keep the momentum and stay relevant. The next one we're going to be mentioning, guys, is Nobody, and this is a coin I've been mentioning quite often. As you guys see, we've done multiple X's on this coin, but right now it's at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. Okay, so it's kind of like there's no more where to go. It's just gonna just keep going up or just keep coming down. So that's why I want to mention it, because 4.2 million is not a bad entry. Still gives you a nice possibility of a couple 80% to maybe roughly a 2x to a 3x here. Still very relevant coin, so I did want to highlight that as well. The next coin I want to mention, and this one is an older coin, but I want to give this with a warning. The coins from now on are all going to be coins that are going to be super duper risky, and they tend to do very well, but we just want to make sure you guys are aware that there is still a risk involved when trading these, because they might not just go up. They could probably just keep going down. So these tend to give the most X's, but they are a little bit more riskier. So this was called NomNom, and I love this one a lot because it did really well. Ran up almost to 80 mil when it first came out. We caught this one pretty early, but this is kind of be like one of those plays like we did with Nub last year, where we caught it really low and hoping it kind of reverses. Right now it's at 366K. I'm looking around that 340 to 350 range, probably add a little bit there. And do keep in mind that this might come down back a little to 270, and I'll probably add a little bit more, expecting this to kind of reverse and do pretty well. Pretty strong community, very well known coin, so I did want to mention this one as well. Now, the next ones I'm going to mention are a little bit newer. Community is not that well established, but I think they are in a nice little target range where you could probably take a nice little stab at it. And this is called Machi, and this one right now is at 500K, ran up to almost 2 mil, came back down to 500K. Ideally, this is not a bad entry, but I would probably add a little bit around here just in case this is like the floor and it reverses, or I would add a little bit here and then wait for it to come down a little bit lower, somewhere around this range between 5 and 350, and add around here and hope it reverses and it gives us a nice little 2 to 3 to 4x when this one comes out. So this is the more riskier one. Another one we're going to mention is Clippy. And as you guys know, this is one of the most popular meme coins. It has done really well. Even every single time it's come out, it's done really good. And the reason we're mentioning this one is because it's at the floor. So it either reverses or it dies, right? So right now, not a bad add here at 541. This is where I would add and hope we see like a mil to 1.5 mil, giving us a nice 2 to 3x. And hopefully it does that, but it's either you add here and it goes back up, or it's just kind of be completely over for this one. The next one we have is Chud, which is in the same case scenario as well, around that 500K market cap here, and we're looking at it's at 554 right now. I would not add around this range. I think it still comes down and it bleeds down here to maybe this 470. That's where I would add 470 to that 425 here. That is where I would put an entry. This 554 is not a bad entry, but I still think it'll bleed a little bit more. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. And that's where this is like this hot zone, this Boltz zone. That's where I would potentially add on this coin. The last one I want to mention, guys, is called Spark. Actually, I'm going to give you one more, okay? After Spark. But the last one I'll mention is Spark. This one is one of the coins that I'm mostly bullish on because I feel that even though right now it might look dim and it's at 650, and this might be the lowest you see it. I don't think we'll see 500, but 650, I think you will see a crazy reversal on this one. And the way I'm personally playing this one is I'm not playing it for it's like, oh, it's going to reverse tomorrow or in a week. I'm actually playing this one where we're going to see a reversal sometimes like summer or after summer. So I'm playing this for a long-term hold. If you want to hold for that long, you're more than welcome to play it. But just keep in mind, you might not see it lower than this in particular per se. And I've been saying that, I said that at 700, but just the market's been a little bit choppy. But I think this is one of those coins that reverses really fast. Okay, so you want to make sure you keep that in mind. It wouldn't hurt to throw some dust in there and just be like, okay, I'm just not going to see this coin ever again. I'll just come back and check it, like in a month or so and see where it's at. Or set an alert. So you want to make sure you do that. The last coin I want to mention, and this one is just, I mentioned this one inside Boltz Alpha. This one's called Aliens, and this one we already made a lot of money on this one back when it first came out. But right now it is at 155K. To me personally, this is the lowest. If it keeps coming back down, then you're pretty much over. But I think anytime you get some alien news, you might see it just bounce back up. So you kind of want to look at this one. Maybe it comes down to 155. Maybe it comes down to 100. That's when you add, and you just kind of just wait to see what it does. That's what I would do. But those are the main coins that we have right now for the rips and dips video. Don't forget, we caught 25x's on the Boltz Alpha, so you want to join us over there. Link is down below. Also, if you want to watch this video early, 24 hours early, it's live on Boltz Alpha, so you guys can see it there as well. And don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursdays we stream, giving you guys a nice little 5 to 10x live on stream. Follow me on all socials: YouTube, X, and Telegram and Discord. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.